All right, the second part of today's lesson is about applying what we've learned about adding and subtracting fractions to word problems. And this always gets a little bit trickier because it's not just explicitly given to us. We have to kind of uh, decode things. We have to kind of look in the problem to figure out what they're asking for. So that's what we're going to practice today.
What kinds of strategies can be used to help make sense of word problems? Consider this word problem. Shara is in charge of mixing sand and cement to make concrete. She adds 5/8 pound of sand to 6/8 pound of concrete. She will add gravel and water later. How many pounds of the mixture of sand and concrete does she have? Is this amount greater than, less than, or equal to 1 pound of mixture? Notice there are many parts to this problem. One question to answer is, how many pounds of mixture are there? The other question, is this amount greater than, less than, or equal to 1 pound of mixture, is another.
Oops, I cut her off. But there's two parts to this question. So, one thing that's super important when we're solving word problems is to read through the whole thing first and make sure that we really know every part that we're trying, that we know every part of the question, because there might be multiple things that we have to figure out. And so, if we look, they're first asking us how many pounds of mixture are there. And then we also have to know if it's greater than, less than, or equal to one. So, there's two things that we're going to have to solve with this problem.
Another way of asking, will the answer be a proper or an improper fraction? The number of pounds of mixture is found by adding 5/8 and 6/8. If the answer is less than 1 pound, it is a proper fraction. If the answer is equal to or greater than 1 pound, it is an improper fraction.
Okay, remember if it's one or more, it's improper. If it's less than one, it's proper.
Do you think the correct answer is a proper or an improper fraction? If we think about the answer first, we know that both fractions are closer to 1 than they are to 0.
Okay, so if we look at those fractions, the numerator and the denominator, 5 and 8, 6 and 8, both are relatively large. They're not like, it's not like 7/8. 7/8 would be the biggest that it could get before it is 1, but they're pretty close. So I'm adding more close to 1 and close to 1. So do you think I'm going to get more than 1 or less than 1?
Adding them together should make a fraction greater than 1. So the answer should be an improper fraction. Another strategy we can use to make sense of the problem is to use a model. What kind of model would you use? Let's model the problem with Cuisenaire rods. We begin by showing the whole and the unit fraction 1/8. We use 5 unit fractions to show 5/8 and 6 unit fractions to show 6/8. The sum is 11/8. Let's compare our answer to the whole. What does the model tell you about the answer? The model shows that the answer is an improper fraction as we estimated earlier.
Okay, meaning that this, our 11/8 is bigger than 1. Okay, here's our whole, here's 1. Our answer is longer than that, it's bigger than that, it's more than 1, it's greater than 1, it's an improper fraction.
Now let's answer the two questions asked in the problem. The answer to the first question, how many pounds of mixture are there, is 11/8 pounds of mixture.
Okay, we got that by adding the fractions together.
Because the answer is an improper fraction, we know that the answer to the second question is that the amount is greater than 1 pound of mixture.
Okay, another, it's an improper fraction because when we built it, it was longer than 1. But also, our trick, we look at our numerator and our denominator, 11 compared to 8. 11 is more than 8. It's bigger than 8. So that means it's more than 1. So it's an improper fraction.